Hey guys, welcome to episode 10 of the Equity Podcast. I'm Joe and this is Berek. Today our main topic, is 3 tips to maximize your results in the gym. And after that, we just have a couple question and answers, and that'll be it for the day.
Yeah. Sponsor today is our new program, Equity Online Sport Coaching. So this is run by Colby. He was a Division II athlete. He was a soccer player, and he's worked a lot with travel sports teams. He's working with some soccer teams, some baseball teams. And one of the things that he noticed was he wasn't like 8 weeks just wasn't enough time to really get in everything that the teams needed. So he's like, I want to be able to help them when they need to. And, that's like during the off season. And what happens a lot of time is during the season, they're working really hard. And in the off season, they're not doing anything. So he's like, I want to give them a program that they can just hit at home. It's like super basic, but they can still be making gains and working better and staying injury free. That's one of the biggest things with youth sports, making sure that we're preventing those non-contact injuries. Training consistently can help with that. So he provides a program 3 days a week. It has a warm up, it has a skill / strength, and then it has a conditioning piece with it. And we're trying to build mechanics and trying to move well, get stronger, and be ready to start that season in full swing. Right? If you've been training during that whole off season, you can just hit the ground running and really really be a notch above everybody else. So being consistent with that. So it's $20 a month. You get online access to it. It gets sent to you. There's videos. So check it out. Equity Online Sports Coaching. You can find that on our webpage. Just go under programs. You'll see it at the bottom. Give it a check. Colby's running it, and he's doing a fantastic job with it. So check it out if you're interested.
Yep. So today our main topic is a couple different tips to maximize your results in the gym. First one is just slow down, which is very straightforward.
Well,
Sort of.
Yeah.
Not actually.
I think, yeah, it's slow down. Although that's simple, just slow down. But actually, this is somewhat of a nuanced answer.
Yeah.
Because we're going to talk about it in 2 ways. First one is just in workouts, slow down. And the reason is that most people, they start working out and they start going too fast. They get loose and they, things are all over the place, and that's how you get hurt. Just slow down and make sure we're moving well. When you can start moving well, you can start moving more efficiently, and now you're not using as much energy. You can go faster in the long run, right? Yeah, you might do the next set fast, but then what happens when you've used all that energy because you're moving inefficiently? The next set, it gets real bad, and you start sucking wind, right? So by slowing down during the workout, it'll let you go faster in the long run. Another way to pacing. So it's just slowing down in workouts is kind of 2 parts in it. You have the pacing part, and then also like making sure you're moving well and efficiently.
Slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Yep, exactly. The person who's done the first round first probably isn't going to finish the workout first. Generally speaking.
Very rarely.
Yeah, generally speaking, that's not going to happen. Unless it's like a 3-minute workout, then maybe.
Yeah.
But for those, anything over like 10 minutes, generally the first person isn't going to finish. The second thing is slow down in the long term. Like when people they start seeing all this cool stuff. Like, oh man, this person's doing this and that person's doing that. And oh dude, I really like pull-ups, or I really like snatching, whatever it is. And they're like, I need to be better at it now. Like, man, everybody else is snatching 155 and I'm only at 115. I need to be doing that now. Well, slow down. Those people that are snatching 155 have been doing this for 3 years, right? Whereas, you might be 3 months in. Slow down. Take your time. Focus on the mechanics first, and then you'll start seeing those jumps. It might be kind of slow start. slow down, slow start, but then it'll start making progress in the long run. So just slow down, think about the long term. Don't be in such a rush to get something really quickly. It's gonna take time to get those things.
You're not going to start a part-time job at McDonald's and buy a house tomorrow. It's a building process.
Exactly, right? When you start a job at McDonald's, you don't plan on being a manager in a month.
Yep.
Right? You need to build up to it. It takes time. You have to earn the strength and the conditioning to get to that level. Like, it's not just going to be given to you. You have to earn it. You have to work for it. And it's going to take some time. So slow down, relax. You'll get there. Work hard consistently, and it'll happen.
I'm not realizing that McDonald's probably isn't the best metaphor for a CrossFit podcast. That's just the first thing that popped into my head. That's a problem.
I think it's great. I love it. I can crush some McNuggets.
I'm very obviously hungry.
I can crush some McNuggets.
Right. So the next point is you should have a personal goal every workout.
Yeah. We have 3 goals for every workout. We have kind of like a general goal. We have a goal for those that are looking for health and wellness, right? They're here so they can, go for a hike. They want to be able to pick their kids up off the ground. They need to be able to pick up the dog food. They just want to be fit for life. And then we have a performance goal. There's people that are trying to maximize. They want to see what they're truly capable of. Inside of that, we want to make sure that we understand what our personal goals are and what we want to try and achieve. When I'm doing the programming, I can't think about everybody's goal. I have to think about, these, like everybody as a whole. Like what are kind of like the main groups? And that's
broad
why
strokes.
We have, the health and wellness and performance. Those are generally the 2 areas that most people are working on. So let's say we have a toes bar workout coming up and your goal is just to get a toes bar. Well, then let's try and get that, right? And maybe if it's 5 toes bar, well, I'm just going to do 1 today, but my goal is to really give it everything I have each time. Whereas somebody else might be, look, I can do 5, no problem, but I really want to try and work on my capacity of doing more. So I'm going to try and do 7. And then I'll just figure the rest out. Yep. But that first set, I want to try and do 7. And, that might not be on the goal for the workout. The goal might just be, hey, we're working midline and leg strength. Maybe there's front squats in it. But, obviously you have that goal as well. But on top of that, I want to make sure I'm holding 7s on the toes bar.
Yep.
Right. And then you're just going to stick yourself. You're going to keep yourself accountable to making sure you're staying with those 7s. So the flip side of that, when you have a personal goal like that, and this brings me to the second point for this, is you need to understand the difference between training and competing. If your goal is just to beat somebody else, you're never gonna. It's short-sighted, because when you're just trying to beat somebody on that day, or you're just trying to get your best time every single day, it's short-sighted in the sense, well, you're not building the capacity to do other things. So if you never try to do 7 toes of bar unbroken, you're never going to be able to do 7 toes of bar unbroken. So for example, if I'm doing the open, and for the open, the goal is to get my best possible time that day, I'm not going to do 7 toes of bar unbroken because I'm going to burn out. I'm going to split that up into 3s.
Yep.
But if I'm trying to build the capacity, if I'm trying to work on that skill of doing toes of bar, I'm not going to get my best score today, but I know in the long run, I'm going to get better at toes of bar by trying to get that 7.
Yep.
So training versus competing. If you're always competing, you're going to compete yourself out of competition. You're going to compete yourself out of competing.
Yep.
Because you're not going to get better, and everybody else who's training is going to keep getting better.
And the risk of injury too, if you're competing all the time,
exactly
goes up.
If you're always on it and you're just going to the max every single day, it's going to catch up to you in the long run. Cyclists that do the Tour de France don't go ham every single day. No. They know they need to take it back sometimes.
Yep. And our third point, what? Sorry.
No, go for it. I'm laughing because I already know what I want to say when you say it.
fucked up my flow. Excuse me. Our third and final point is food and recovery.
So the reason I laughed is because this is the most boring answer that I could give, and nobody wants to hear it.
Yep.
And that's one of the reasons we want to give these. I think all these tips are actually kind of boring, and they're like, well,
slow down and don't party.
Yeah, slow
Dumbass.
down and stop competing, right? Wait, what? In order to maximize my results, I need to slow down and stop competing? Yep. And then I also need to recover and eat? What?
And not go out on the weekends.
This one is kind of broad, and I'm going to try to get it all in. The first one is weekends kill your gains. So the first one is just eating in general. In general, people eat relatively well during the week, and then during the weekends, woo! I worked real hard. Now it's time to have fun. But if you're working hard in the gym and you want to see results, the weekends count. It's like they're not freebies. If you don't eat well, you're just killing all your gains. All that work you did in the week, you just completely erased because you couldn't say no to French fries and a milkshake, right? So one, remember that weekends, you need to be mindful of what your goals are, even on weekends. It matters.
Yep.
The second part of weekends killing gains is drinking. When you drink, especially excessively, you're not sleeping to the level that you need to be. It's a very restless sleep, and you're not getting to those deeper levels of sleep where you get true recovery. Like if you're buzzed, you're not sleeping, you're not fully recovering during your sleep. I guarantee you, if you go to bed buzzed and you take a note of how you feel the next morning, you could not have a hangover at all. But I guarantee you're not going to feel as refreshed as when you don't drink at all, right? So I'm not saying if you enjoy a cocktail or two or a beer or two, do it. Enjoy your life. You want to enjoy your life. But if your goal is to keep getting better and see what you're truly capable of, bringing that back a bit is going to help you in the long run.
The worst part of all this, when do CrossFitters most like to drink and party? Right after a competition.
Yep. So the next one is nutrition. Obviously, like we said with the weekends, is making sure you're dialed in, making sure you're hitting all your macros. Not necessarily you have to count macros, but making sure you're getting protein, fat, and carbohydrates every single meal, right? Making sure you're getting the macros that you need, and then also timing, especially like this is the whole point of this podcast is to maximize. We're not saying general. Like, hey, we're just getting health and fitness. We're trying to maximize our results. Timing, your nutrition timing matters as well. So getting that protein and carbohydrate immediately after workout, making sure there's no fat in it, making sure to get some kind of starch in the meal after you work out, right? So let's say you work out at 4:30, you take a shake right after with protein and carbohydrate, and then you eat at 7. That 7 needs to have some kind of starch in it, like a potato, rice, or something, because that body still is going to want some more. That carbohydrate during the shake wasn't enough. It's enough to fill it for now, but then it's going to want some more after it. So if you work out in the morning, let's say like 9:30, you want that starch in the lunch to make sure to get something in the lunch period as well. And then the final piece is with the recovery and eating is not getting enough sleep and not taking rest days. Your body has to recover. When you're sore, it's from muscle tissue breaking down. And if you just keep breaking it down, it never has time to build up. So it needs sleep, it needs food, it needs rest days in order to do that. So make sure we're getting sleep and rest. Why We Sleep is such a great book. I think I recommended that on the Equity bookshelf a few weeks ago. So you can go back to that email and check it out. Why We Sleep is a really good book. It talks about how to sleep and why we need it and why it's beneficial. So really, really good book about sleeping.
I think that's it for the main topic.
Yeah, I think those are 3 pretty good tips.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, I think they were good. I came up with them.
So don't work out too hard. Don't be an idiot. Don't party. Is what we're saying here. That's terrible. If someone clips that and just that's great fitness advice from Equity. All right. So our first question for the day comes from Vikki. She wants to know, how do you maintain the balance of gaining strength while cutting weight? Very, very difficult.
There's a few answers to this. The first answer, let's say I'm just beginning. The answer is, yeah, you can do that no problem.
Yes.
Hashtag beginner gains.
So good. So good.
Beginner gains. When if you've never worked out before, it's going to be really easy to get strong and lose weight because you've never done anything before. So your body just adapts immediately. For somebody in that mid-range that's been working out for 2 to 3 years pretty consistently, if you can kind of take your diet to another level, taking your commitment to training to another level, I think it can still be done.
Yeah.
But then when you start getting into that advance, when you've been doing this for 3 years or more, it starts getting really tricky. It can be done, and this is basically what I do. And the reason is my goals have changed over the years, and I'm just looking to I'm more in that health and wellness goal right now. Like, I still like doing local competitions, and I'll keep doing them. But if I really wanted to be competitive, I need to get stronger, and I should probably dial back a little bit and focus more on strength. But that's not where I'm at. I like working out in the group. I like doing group classes. I like talking with everybody. I like hanging out with everybody. That I get more joy out of that than being a little bit stronger. That being said, I'm still working on it, but
it's not
I have a longer
range
range goal.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking out years in advance. It is what it is. And so, when do you want that strength? I think is the question to ask. If you want it really far away, and depending on what your goal is, just do a little bit of extra work. Have a strength bias towards your programming. Whenever you do extra work, make sure it's strength work.
Yep.
If you want strength now, you have to focus on it. So dialing back a little bit, like taking the intensity back on your group classes, and then putting more intensity into some strength training can definitely help. So that's kind of be where you're at, or make sure when you're doing your group stuff, go a little bit heavier, but slow down. Instead of doing kipping movements, do strict movements. Right? There's ways to kind of have that focus or have that bias towards it.
Yeah.
And then the final thing was. You know what? I lost it. I have no idea what the final thing was. So we'll go with that.
That's what. Wasn't it? This is a really solid question, and we're probably going to explore it more in a later. Isn't that the?
Yeah. So, strength in general is, I think a lot of people want to get it, and there's different types of strength. You have gymnastic strength, you have barbell strength. I think in one of our episodes coming up, we'll actually talk about in general. All right, how do I get stronger? What do I need to do exactly? And we'll do a little deeper dive into this. That's what I was going to say. What I was going to say is that if we're cutting and our strength maintains, that's improving.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm at a body weight of 185 and I dropped to 175, but my back squat is the same. My shoulder press is the same. I got stronger.
Your percentages are better.
Yeah. My percentages are stronger. So just by staying even, that doesn't mean you're losing or not gaining. You've actually technically gotten stronger on a percentage base.
Maintaining while losing is actually really impressive.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
If you can maintain that while cutting, that's really good. And again, that's something, it has to be done slowly. That's the big thing. It has to be done slowly in order to do that.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can go through these a little quicker. Like I said, there's so much in that with the strength type stuff. That's why we're going to come back and hopefully do another episode.
Watch us just never do another episode on it ever. just don't talk about it at all. Our second question is something that we get asked pretty often. And it's, do I need a better jump rope for double unders? People will come and say, do I need this $60 RPM rope? I can't get double unders. Will this fix my problem?
Well, that's funny you went there. I didn't. I took it the exact opposite way. Is I always use the loaner ropes. Do I need to get another rope? I think it's two different. If you use a loaner rope, you need to get your own rope.
Yes, no, you need to get your own rope, but you can get a $15 rope and it's fine.
Absolutely.
That being said, the $60 ropes are really nice, and if you have the money, get one. They're great. Yeah. I love them.
Absolutely. So the answer is, do you need to get one?
Yeah.
No.
Not at all.
No.
It's
the rope should not matter. So I told this Joe in pre-show. I told Joe this story in pre-show. We got the new ropes for the loaners, and those are the thick ropes that you kind of see in gym classes. And it was right before a class, and I was opening them up, and I'd never used these ropes before. Krista picked them out, so I didn't even really know what they were, and I was just opening them. And so we were talking about double unders. Obviously, where ropes were out, so we were talking about it. And there was like 5 people there. I was like, "All right, guys, I think you're asking the wrong question. I can't remember what it was." And I was like, "Look, I'm going to show you that the rope doesn't matter. I'm going to do 30 double unders unbroken with a rope I've never used. I didn't test at all. I just went right into it. If I can do 30 double unders right now, unbroken, you guys have to do 5 burpees. If I can't, if I trip up at 29, I will do 20 burpees." I did 35 to be safe because they were counting, and I was like, they're going to call me out and say I did like 29, but I thought I did 30. So I did 35 just enough, and I did not have to do any burpees. And the reason I tell this story is because it doesn't matter on the rope. I can do double unders on any rope. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Maybe not like a climbing rope, but maybe. But in general, if it's a rope, I can do a double under in it. Now, does a really nice rope kind of make you more efficient? Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. But the difference between a $30 rope and a $60 rope, is it worth it? Probably not.
No.
The difference between a $5 rope and a $25 rope, is it worth it? Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. That being said, if you like the rope, if you're into the fitness, if you're into the performance side of things, and you want to try something super nice, dude, do it, And
if you want a $5 rope to chuck in your bag and like jump on concrete and stuff,
yeah,
do it.
Yeah.
So no, you don't, but you should totally buy really expensive ropes.
I mean, I've had the same rope forever, and I like it. It was $25 rope at Rogue. So
I've had so many jump ropes.
All the jump ropes. If you need jump rope recommendations, Joe's your man.
Yeah. This is such a dumb question to ask.
I think it's awesome.
No one specifically asked this. It's just kind of a general thing. I'm not saying someone's dumb for asking this. But her third question is, why do short people go to CrossFit?
Yeah.
Short answer is levers and physics.
Yeah. That is a short answer. Is they're good at it because they have less distance to travel.
Get it?
So
short answer.
Short answer.
Fuck.
Damn it.
This is going off the rails.
So short answer is they have less room. They have less distance to travel, so they can do movements faster. Right on a pull up to go from here to here versus somebody with longer arms. They have to go farther. For a squat, somebody with longer legs has to travel more distance. Right. So in general, most of the movements that we're doing in the gym favor shorter limbs. So short limbs with a longer torso actually really helps with barbell movements and whatnot. Except for a deadlift. You want really long arms for a good deadlift. And, there's always these other moves. Wall balls, you want to be tall. Yep. Rowing, you want to be tall. But, that's like 2 movements out of, 100, right? So, that's the main thing is, the distances. It just makes it so advantageous for people that are shorter because they just have less places to travel. Yeah. And you know, it's just funny, you know, I make fun of myself all the time. You know?
I make fun of them all the time. It's great.
You know, I think we have like 10 women in the gym that are my height or taller. At least. I'm a big, strong man.
Oh boy.
So, you know, it's always fun to give the short people a little nudge. Like, you know, I could have had you, but you know, you're just so short, you don't have that far to go.
It's the one sport short people are good at.
Yeah. That being said, if I play any other sport, you're fucked. You know, it's going to be tough for me.
Yeah.
You know, my wingspan isn't really great for anything except for moving a barbell.
Yeah. Not well. All right. That'll be it for us today, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share. We'll be back with another episode next month.
Complain.
Yes, complain. We need criticism.
Comment in the comment below on why we're terrible.
If you stuck through this episode, bravo. This was thrown together last minute.
I thought it went super well.
I think, yeah, great. Thanks, guys.